Everyone speculates about the future of human civilization, and Mike Pondsmith is probably the closest to being correct. Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2077 and red paint a pretty solid picture. Others that have a good sense of things would be Curtis Yarvin and Nixland, not to be confused with Nickland. As controversial as they may be, those two do have a finger on the pulse. Our future is Night City Chooms. Recently, 23andMe went tits up, and the genetic data of millions will be up for grabs, giving your DNA to core that operate under the guise of teaching you more about yourself. I hate to say it, but you just gave your DNA to a biotech lab. That likely does some morally gray work. Trusting a corp with your genetic data is wild. Corporations like Moderna and Ginkgo Bioworks are probably creaming in their pants right now. That'd be so useful for the real-life equivalents of Biotechnica. The right-wing tech elite recently became the kingmaker of the Republican Party. Folks like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Curtis Yarvin. I'm sure you witnessed the clash between the populist right and the pseudo-aristocratic tech brigade. An interesting observation from that mess is that the populist right has developed class consciousness. I could see them embracing Stalinism or Dengism if marketed to them correctly. Night City, NUSA, and Dogtown are probably the most important fictional places for an aspiring political figure to study. That is our future with some slight differences. The United States government will become a subdivision of a corporation. It effectively is now in all but name. Dogtown is a military dictatorship, an individualistic anarchist community simultaneously. You can effectively do whatever you want, just stay out of Barguest's way. They don't even make you pay taxes. Night City has a government, but it's really Arasaka and Militech that call the shots. Gangs like Valentino's, 6th Street, and Mox fill in the gaps. The world you see in Cyberpunk isn't that different from the ideas of Mencius Moldbug, aka Curtis Yarvin. The whole society as a corporation shtick. I'm sure you've heard someone say internet and video games aren't real life, but this is simply false. Your brain has interfaced with the machine. You have a digitized self that is an extension of yourself. The human brain cannot tell the difference between the wired and the organic space. This is why you get invested in and upset with people on social media. Your mind is treating it like a physical interaction. This is also why people develop parasocial bonds with characters like Panam Palmer and Judy Alvarez. Your subconscious thinks that you're involved with a person. Hello from the Wired by Nixland is actually a very good video on YouTube. With the advent of AI, it's becoming increasingly possible that they'll be able to mimic human behavior perfectly. You'll be able to have your fictional crush as a partner, and with advances in robotics. You might even be able to sleep with them. Of course, the rise of AI also means the rise of rogue AI, something that necessitated the creation of the Black Wall in Cyberpunk, which is a digital prison for AI that are just a little too aware. Netwatch is one of the few corporations that isn't pure evil, given that their whole existence is to keep control of it. Everyone speculates about the future of human civilization, and Mike Pondsmith is probably the